Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class, but you really wanted to. My name is Tess Bellomo.
And my name is Claire Donald.
And I was just telling Claire, I feel like I haven't hosted for a decade.
Same. I don't even know how that happened. Was Mary Jane Richards, I think, the last time that you hosted?
Was it? I thought I did something after that. But maybe not, because we had a re-release and we had a guest, and then you did...
Shirley. I know. I think, and Amy.
Oh my God.
It's been, I mean, what a catalog we've had so far. But can we talk about for a second Hannah Brown?
Yes.
What a damn treat.
We have been getting such good feedback about the Recession Pop episode, and I think we all needed that.
Yeah, I agree.
I know that we personally needed that.
Yeah.
I think the listeners needed that.
Some levite.
Yeah. To the madness.
Yeah, exactly.
Of life.
And she just did such a great job. If you want more of Hannah, definitely check out her podcast, Unaspirational. It's just a treat.
Yeah, that was just so nice. And like, I did a little story this morning just being like, you guys, let us know what you want us to gab about a little bit of like nostalgia. And I think we have so many millennial listeners and also our Gen Z babies. But I think millennials just want some of that, like, some of these times just to be an episode, even a whole episode.
Disassociate, you know what I mean?
I know. I know. I mean, it does feel really good. And then someone responded and they were like, just do an episode on just nostalgia.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, damn, what does that even mean? I was like, we could talk for hours.
Well, truly, and we would.
Because we are nostalgic people.
Yeah,
especially right now.
Yeah, that's my Pisces moon.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, apparently they're like a very dreamy sign, which congratulations, Morgan. My friend Morgan just had her second baby, little Pisces baby.
So sweet.
And I was definitely like the California auntie where I sent her chart and I was like, this is what her moon and rising means, like paragraphs and paragraphs.
But we need you.
Yeah, we have a new Lammy in the mix.
We love our little baby Lammies.
We do.
We had such a cute video yesterday of a Lammy rocking out to some Recession Pop.
Party rockers in the house tonight.
But yeah, in trying to decide, what to do next, I was going back and forth. I was going to go a little bit more serious. I was going to go a little bit more intense. And then what kept calling to me was America's Next Top Model.
Like, where to even begin? I
know. I feel like we should just get into it because so much of this is going to be like us and our experiences and conversational.
Yeah.
And since we will be like getting into personal experiences, I wanted to ask you first, Claire, can you tell the Rammies about your time as a model? Because I don't think a lot of people know that you were a professional model.
Well, it's funny that when I was just thinking about this, like right before we sat down, I feel like it hit me like a ton of bricks of being like, whoa, okay, this show actually did influence me. So my mom and I like would watch that religiously together, and I always wanted to be like an actor or a model. In 8th grade is when I shot up, and so like in height, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
Were people telling you that you should model?
Well, yeah, I was in Arkansas and I was 5'8", so like everyone's like, you go out to LA or New York and be a big model girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely inspired me, and that's what I moved to LA for acting and modeling, and then booked some jobs.
Wow. So you signed with an agency for a model in Arkansas.
I did, but like, what can you really do there? It was like actually Dillard's was based in Arkansas.
Oh, you got Dillard's?
No, I didn't. But it was personally there. But yeah, oh my God. Okay, actually I was thinking about this. I was like, I have some modeling shots that are so embarrassing from high school.
Oh.
Some that I think I'm like too, and I thought they were so America's Next Top Model that like maybe we will have to post in the carousel.
Are they the black and white ones of you like dancing?
No.
And like a leotard?
No, there's actually like some, those were LA.
Those are gorgeous.
The Arkansas ones.
Please find them.
Yeah, no, I have them. I know exactly where they are. And so we can post that I thought I was so high fashion. Rammies, you're going to die.
I can't believe you've never shown me. I feel like I've seen every shoot you've ever done.
No. Well, it was like when I was like in junior high school, and then did some like runway stuff, but mainly did like catalog and print.
Yeah.
Except when I moved out to LA and signed with the agency out here. And
well, then you got the Keds commercial very quickly.
I modeled a lot of shoe stuff, but it wasn't just my feet, not just my wiki feet, but I did like Vans, I did Keds, I did Dustin Hoffman's wife's jewelry line, Lisa Hoffman jewelry. There's like a few other things. And then this industry is not kind to women, I will tell you that.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I loved it. I had so much fun with it. Like, I would love to do it more. I think modeling is like so cool, and it's like storytelling in its own way. I loved it.
Well, like you still have like you can tell that you're a model from like anytime I've like taken headshots of you, lol, when I used to be like, Claire, you're my those terrible headshots.
No, literally, when Tess and I were taking headshots together, she was like, we were just new friends, and I was dating like my ex at the time, and you're like, so tell me about him. I was like, I don't really like him, but I'm dating him, and here we are, 6.5 years later.
I forgot about that.
Broken up, yeah.
I forgot about that.
This episode's not about my past relationships.
But like you can tell, like you like know how to pose, and like you do know how to pose.
Well, thanks.
No, like you're literally like, let me see that, and then you're like, okay, and you like adjust in a way that you're like, oh, you're like professionally trained.
Well,
it
can I
true.
actually say, yes, I did have like classes or whatever, and then like studied it in magazines, but like also America's Next Top Model, like for real, like smizing and shit,
Smizing,
and like the posing, and like I can just picture Tyra right now, like moving.
Oh, yeah,
also,
it's
like,
all about the movement.
Yes, and dance did help and all of that, but. Yeah.
She's model. Yeah, look up her.
I could post. I was in, I'll just like, for a second, it was exciting. Like, some of my shots were in like Glamour magazine and
They
stuff.
were?
Yeah. Jennifer Aniston was on the cover, like the CAD stuff.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, you were everywhere. Weren't you on a bus too?
I was on a billboard, a bus. I was in a store.
Look at her go.
Hey, and then, you know what? And then I got healthier. And then the industry rejected me. And I will say that, and I don't know if there's going to be like trigger warnings and stuff like that, but it was like truly that's why I stopped modeling.
Really?
Yes.
That's insane.
I mean, literally, we can cut this if you want, or we can keep it. But like, I showed up on a shoot, and like, I was in a healthier body, and they truly told my agent that I hindered the shoot because of my body. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised, but it's like hard to hear.
No, I know.
From like someone that you know,
especially being like a 19-year-old girl. Yeah.
That's insane.
So we don't model anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that as much as like it's fun to go, on a deep dive back to the past, there will be like a few. We're gonna try to keep this as light as possible, and it will have levité, but at the same time, there will be talk about body image and body dysmorphia, because that is so much of what this did to probably most women watching it.
I know. And I think the industry has come a long way, but there's still so much further to go. You know what I mean?
It's like sometimes I feel like they do I don't know. It's like let's put like a little bit of diversity in here, or like almost like shut people up, but like the core of it is not diverse and not healthy.
Which is so crazy, because like modeling is to sell clothes and to like tell a story, and it's like most people are not, wearing or don't look exactly like the models presenting the clothes. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, we were truly just talking about this last night, looking at Bella Hadid's new like bathing suit line advertisements, and I just feel like we are going back into the early 2000s in like everything I'm seeing right now, like watching the Oscars and watching TV shows, and like you're just like, holy shit, it's just not a kind place for women, and you can't blame women for falling into like, I need to look this way, or now there's this magical drug on the market that I can take and then everything will be okay. Like, I don't blame women. I blame a lot of other people for that.
Yes.
But it is like a hard time right now.
It definitely is. And I think I don't know. I'm proud of the people who are like pushing forward and not falling into that, because the pressure, especially if you are in the public eye, to not fall into that, it's like impossible not to do.
I know.
So, and I'm proud of like brands that are choosing not to fall into that as well, because that's where the change actually happens.
Well, that's exactly. It's like the people that are choosing the models for these ads, and the people that are putting women on billboards that have a healthier body.
Yeah.
Like, and that does make a difference.
Yeah.
And you're literally like one company that you see a billboard of like MeUndies of like, that looks like someone that's healthy.
Yes.
Still very like probably unattainable, but healthy.
Like cast models based on the vibes of what your brand represents. You know what I mean?
Truly.
Oh my God. I forgot about another brand I modeled for.
What?
Blast from the past. Kitson.
Oh my God. Kitson, you guys, is like, you might know, but it's like the early 2000s, Paris Hilton,
the high-end
Nicole
Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe I could find some of the Kitson pictures.
This whole carousel is just going to be Claire's modeling photos.
You guys are really going to die at the junior high one. They're so bad.
I can't wait.
And I was truly like, fashion.
But yeah, it's a crazy time. It always has been a crazy time.
Yes.
And I think just doing this research, I was truly like, we have come a little bit far, but also not at all.
Yeah.
So that's always, just going to put that out there. If this episode isn't for you today, skip it.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have fun with it too. Okay, sources to start are E! Online.
Oh, of course. She's our aunt, right?
I think so.
I think she's our aunt.
Our pretty aunt that like has a drinking problem.
And like a few pills in there.
Yeah, that's like
for sure.
Yeah. Just like she's like Parker Posey.
100%, but like younger and like with more bleached hair.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Of course.
Reddit. And Women's Wear Daily.
Okay. Chic. WWD, baby.
WWD. Yeah, the Reddit. I was like, I want to know what the people are saying.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so America's
also
Next Top
brave
Model.
of you. I know it's scary out there to go for us. It's scary to go on Reddit.
Yeah, I've been going on a little bit more, I have to say.
Can I tell you? I have the app.
You do?
Because my brother-in-law will send stuff and it'll be like, we can't show you this unless you're on the app. So
I finally did that with Yelp. For years, people would send me Yelp and be like, oh, I want to go to this restaurant. I would just like go to my computer and like type it in.
Oh my God, what?
I didn't have Yelp. I got Yelp like 2 months ago, Claire.
Yelp was my best friend when I moved to LA. I used to leave Yelp reviews. That is like...
I've left a few in
the
my
most
time.
Disgusting, but they were never negative.
Yeah,
but
I got Yelp when that the massage place stole my necklace. Yeah. And then they told me that I had to take it down, or else they were gonna pursue legal action. So anyway, join Premium to hear all about our
legal troubles,
our life outside of this. But anyway, so America's Next Top Model was created by Tyra Banks. Who also served as executive producer, and it was developed by Ken Mock and Kenya Barris. The series premiered May...
It was by Kenya Barris?
Yeah.
Wow. I think he's the one that does like younger.
Yeah.
Not younger.
He does Blackish.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
I know. Crazy, right?
Crazy.
May 2003 was its premiere date. And then it aired semi-annually until 2012, and then annually from 2013 to 2022. It just like got off the air like a couple years ago.
What?
But it wasn't like they were doing all-star stuff, and like it just wasn't the time anymore.
Wasn't what it used to be.
Sometimes it's time to let the mouse go.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know. So each cycle of America's Next Top Model had 9 to 16 episodes, and it starts with 10 to 16 contestants. Contestants are judged weekly on their overall appearance, participation in challenges, and best shot from that week's photo shoot. Oh, I love that part.
I know. Same when you finally got to see the photos.
Yes, and they're just like disgusting. And they're like, sorry, I had the flu. And they're like, it's no excuse. So
they're like, even when you are sick, you have to show up.
Literally, remember some of them were like, my mom just died. Yeah. And they were like, well, you're cut.
Like, this is the career.
Like, literally, like, what do you choose? Family or this?
And they'd literally be like, look at that. Do you think that's a good shot? And we're just like shaking.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to get into it. So one contestant is eliminated. Sometimes they would do like the scary double elimination. Do you remember?
Oh my God.
Or they would like they would try to be like, oh, you're going to go. And then be like, just kidding. Everyone stays for next week because we're going to Japan.
Yes. And everyone's like jumping and screaming. Oh my God.
Like sobbing and falling to the floor. So there was obviously a consensus within a judging panel, which we'll talk about. It's important to know that the makeovers happened, I think, episode 2 of every season. And then there was always an international trip, like we just said, which was scheduled about 2/3 of the way through the cycle.
Oh my God.
So we have a lot going on.
I cannot wait to get into the makeovers.
Do you remember what they won? Like in the beginning, what the winners? Yeah,
a CoverGirl contract.
Yes,
obviously. It was the cover of which magazine was it? It wasn't Elle, was it? No, it was Marie Claire. No, it wasn't Marie Claire.
It's I'm like, should I give you a fun hint? It is like it was the magazine at the time. It's an age that we wish that we could go back to.
17. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Marie Claire before 17?
17 was the first one.
Really? Oh my God.
The first like big 3 things were Elite
model contract. Oh.
And then 17
Elite
and then
is a big
CoverGirl.
deal.
Elite is a huge deal.
And CoverGirl. Oh, 17 magazine. I was obsessed.
But you know what's so like special? At this time, it was like so simple. It's like you got a cover of a magazine, you got an amazing contract. Like there wasn't like, you know, now it would be like you'd have to get like 1,000 things. You know what I mean? Like it was just such a simpler time.
But also it's like those are all the things that you need to start your career as a model, where it's like that's really what the job, like the show was for. It's like you had a major brand contract, you have an agency now to get you more stuff, and the cover of a magazine. What a dream.
God, I just miss how like, yeah, it was just a different time, wasn't it? They get a cash prize
How much?
It would range from 100,000 to 250,000. But mind you, whenever like you see these numbers on TV shows, it's like half of that is taken away from you.
For taxes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just like, because then I don't know. I just feel like they would never really get that much money from it.
But you know what? That's enough to like pay for you to move to New York.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not mad about these prizes.
No, not mad about it.
No.
Like now you see like a little bit bigger numbers.
Yeah.
But, and also in 2003.
I mean, pretty good.
It's not bad.
No.
Right before the recession. Mm-hmm. Listen to Recession Pop. And then sometimes, which I didn't remember, that you get a brand new car.
What?
I know.
You can't use a car in New York, so that's a waste.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably just like a sponsorship thing.
Yeah,
that it's like
100%.
if you like went to LA or something. I don't know. But they all went to New York.
Yeah, I will say, like, the modeling is not in LA. You can do commercial stuff, though.
Yeah.
But also, I think the modeling industry has changed in a lot of ways, and we can get to that later, too.
It's a little bit more like influencer-y now.
Well, and I think so many people, I was looking at this one girl's TikTok, and I actually relate to her experiences a lot as like a former model, but she was like major. She was like on Vogue and stuff. Her name's Emily something. She was a Maybelline girl.
She's gorgeous.
Stunning.
I love her
love her too.
content.
And she was talking about all these like crazy things that she did because her managers used to tell her, like, you can't take these like huge, like six figures is a lot of money, right? Like
it's
major,
like 100,000 or 500,000.
Yeah, major deals because they're like, Balenciaga won't take you seriously because it's like a commercial campaign. So they'd be like, don't say yes to Skechers, when she's like, now I wish I would have just done it.
I know.
And it just created my own brand.
She's so hot. She did like Sports Illustrated. Yeah. She has those like gorgeous eyes.
I do think in some way you can make your career more of what you want to in the modeling industry now, which before you couldn't.
I know.
Because of influencers and stuff.
Yeah, now like Alex Earl is a model, you know? Yeah. Like, and sometimes I feel old-fashioned, I have to admit, where I'm just like, so now everyone can just be an actress or model? Like, and I know that's like the power of the internet is a great thing for a content creator, but then sometimes I'm like...
But not everyone can.
And not everyone should.
Yeah, those high fashion models are like not influencers.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
Like you're not seeing, what's her face, Bradley Cooper's ex-girlfriend, like doing a Get Ready With Me.
What is her name?
Irana
Shang.
God, she's so gorgeous.
Stunning.
God.
I know.
But yeah, we'll get into all of that. Okay. So the most famous, I was like, did I just delete some of my notes?
Honestly, I'd be like, we know the show by heart. We could just like gab.
Yeah, literally. Do you remember the main players of the judges?
Of course.
Besides Tyra.
Okay. We have Mr. J. Mm-hmm. I don't remember his last name.
J. Alexander.
No, that's Miss J. No.
Oh,
no.
So it's Miss J.
Miss J and then J. Alexander.
Yes.
You're right. And he coached them on shoots and all that. So we have Miss J. Alexander. Or just J. Alexander. Then we have Miss J, who was the catwalk instructor.
Yes, they were like a duo.
100%. We had Nigel Barker.
How did you feel about Nigel Barker?
I mean, as a young girl, I was like, hubba.
I felt like attracted to him, but he also scared me.
To me, I was like, why am I feeling this way about a man so much older than me?
I think, well, yeah, I mean, I definitely was like, I would do it if I could. Yeah. I was like 12. But then I was also just like, he was kind of harsh to them sometimes.
And he was a photographer.
I think I could just tell that he was like probably sexually harassing someone, which I think...
he was accused of that later on.
Yep.
So, yeah.
There just was an energy.
I was always like so excited when he came and did the shoots, though. I was like...
No, it was hot to like see him in action. And he was a model before he was a photographer. And
he was?
He worked, in like the late 80s and 90s. He walked for designers like Jean-Paul Gaultier and Vivienne Westwood.
Wow. And then were there any... Well, listen, it all goes back to Ram. Eventually, Andre Leontelli was a judge. Eventually, Twiggy was a judge. Oh, Janice... not Janice Ian. Janice Dickinson. Janice Ian was a judge.
Janice Dickinson like always reminds me and Adrian so much of like my grandma, like in a bad mood. Like she would Mar, may you rest in peace. She would truly always like that energy of just like, what are you fucking wearing? And just like, I'm so sorry.
She was early seasons, right?
She was early season. She's OG. She was, Janice was credited as being
the world's first supermodel.
And she would never let it.
No, she did not. And her and Tyra like had beef.
A lot of people that had worked on America's Next Top Model and a lot of the judges were like, we did not like Tyra.
Ooh.
And said that she wasn't like really like a part of it and very fake and I mean like, and then you could interpret that too as like she just thought of it very much as a business. Like I'm an executive producer. I'm going to come in now.
Miss J,
I think Miss J was the only good heart, like, soul.
I agree. And then when Andre got on there, he really advocated for like black models.
Yes.
But I actually think that Jay Alexander like cared about these girls and had good advice.
I think I actually didn't mind Twiggy as a judge.
Same.
She was like also sweet. I mean, definitely like brought her own stuff from being, you know, I mean, she was known for being like a thin, like stick figure, and that's like how that kind of became like in fashion in the 60s and 70s.
Nickname is literally Twiggy.
But let's talk a little bit about Tyra, okay? Let's do a little backstory.
Tyra meant so much to me as a kid.
Same. Life size?
Can we just say life size? Eve's great.
Oh my God.
It's from her head to her toes, dress her up, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget her eating the roll and butter.
Oh my God. I'll never forget her just typing all the nonsense. Like sometimes that's how I feel when I'm working.
Same. And young Lindsay Lohan. My God.
Great chemistry.
Great chemistry. I mean, I thought Tyra was great in that.
She is an amazing actress. I actually think she's like a better actress than like anything else.
Oh, really? Her early modeling days. I'm just like, let me stare at that.
No, I mean, she's gorgeous, but I really like when she shines, like, because I think she's really good at, like, I don't know, she has the razz when she acts. Yeah. And I think she was also in Felicity. She played Noel's, like, hookup buddy for a while, and I was just like, you're really cute.
Yeah,
and, like,
is.
She's present.
She's present.
So, little Tyra, quick backstory. Can you guess her sign?
I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I wanted to look it up so bad, and I didn't. Is she an air sign? No.
I don't believe so.
I'm like,
I think she's no.
God,
it's a triggering sign for you.
Oh, Capricorn?
That's December 4th?
That's actually a Sag.
Fuck, I always get this wrong. Why don't I just put it in my notes? I'm just like, I'll let her figure it out.
Okay, a Sag, star of the show.
Okay, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a Capricorn this whole time, and I was like, that makes sense to me.
I mean, because like wheeling, dealing business. No, that December 4th is a Sag. She's that fire sign. She's got to be a center of attention.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so she's born December 4th, 1973 in Inglewood, California.
Oh, she's from Inglewood?
Tyra has said that while she was growing up, she was teased for her appearance and considered an ugly duckling, which she did talk a lot about.
She was always like, kids made fun of my forehead. Like,
I know.
All the time, yeah.
And then she said when she was 11 years old, all of a sudden she grew 3 inches and lost 30 pounds in 3 months.
Okay.
I was like, are you okay?
No, sweetheart. Something.
You have to laugh at these kind of things.
No, you have to.
And suddenly she was a model. So then she began her career as a model at the age of 15. She was the first Black American woman to be featured on the covers of GQ.
Wow.
Sports Illustrated, on which she appeared 3 times. And she was one of the only few Black models to achieve supermodel status, like being a Victoria's Secret's angel from 97 to 2005. And by the early 2000s, Tyra was one of the world's top earning models.
Oh, you know what? Like the Victoria's Secret fashion show clips from the from the 90s, where it's just truly like one white run. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hello. White run.
I know. You got this. One way. Why one way?
One white runway with just like Victoria's Secret in the background. Like it was so classic minimum chic.
I know. It was a different time.
Her and Giselle walking down that runway. Like, oh my God.
I know. It just was a different time.
It was.
Wasn't it? It's gotten like a little cheesy.
Yeah, well, it's a mess now.
And just like, truly just a mess.
We don't need it.
We were going to do an episode about it. And then we were like, we don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So Tyra also acted. She began acting on TV in the sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. And made her film debut in the drama Higher Learning in 95. I don't know what that is. I'm like, what is Higher Learning? It is a 95 American crime drama.
Oh.
Okay. And then she was in Life Size in 2000.
Life Size was 2000?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was like late 90s. I mean, same thing, but like...
I know. And then, of course, she was in the box office hit Coyote Ugly.
Of course. How could I forget about that, too?
She's so hot in Coyote Ugly. I mean, she's a hot little thing.
Coyote Ugly.
They're all so hot in that movie.
I love it.
Oh, my God, it's so good.
I saw a TikTok that was like other girls being like, I want to be a teacher or a nurse when I grow up. And it's like, show Coyote Ugly. It's like, that's what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Literally. I also saw a TikTok the other night of like, why did we ever stop dressing like everyone in Coyote Ugly? We should be going out looking like this all the time.
I completely agree.
It is so hot. She also had a small role in the romantic sports film Love and Basketball. Have you seen that movie?
No, I actually still haven't.
It's so cute.
I need to.
I love that movie. She was in also Gossip Girl and Glee. She made some appearances. Felicity, like I said, she's always been an actor.
Yeah.
She currently has a net worth, and take this with a grain of salt, but the internet told me around 90 million.
Okay, Tyra. I mean, listen,
but that makes sense.
She was such a brand. The Tyra talk show.
Oh my God.
I think that's why Beyonce stopped doing interviews.
What did she say to her again?
She just had the weirdest interview where she's like, cheese, Beyonce, like all this stuff.
Wasn't there like a really controversial interview that she had on that show? Was
I'm
it about when she's like, which one of these men do you think is the hottest? And there's like shows 3 pictures of these guys, and then these like random women are like, I think the one in the middle. She goes, well, they're all serial killers, so you picked a serial killer. I feel like she always just tried to trap people, kind of, for like a.
If we ever have a talk show, can we do stuff like that?
Yes. Like, do you think he's hot? Well, he killed his mom, so you're disgusting.
So move on.
Disgusting.
Next. I'll never forget when she showed her One Piece paparazzi pictures on the Tyra show, and she goes, "You can kiss my fat ass."
Oh, because she had cellulite or whatever, just like everyone does.
This country's so broken.
It's so broken. Yeah, and like those are the moments where I'm like, she has had to deal with. Because she also, and I say this with quotes if you're not watching on Spotify or YouTube, had a curvy body for a model.
That's why she was at Sports Illustrated, too.
Exactly. They were like, oh, amazing. Like, and so I think she then had to deal with that of, like never like fitting in with other models and having these big breasts and like all this stuff. I'm just like, oh, it's upsetting.
Yeah, it truly is.
So I went to Reddit. Because I just was like, what are people's like most memorable moments of Tyra? Like, what quotes come to mind? And I want to see if any of these resonate with you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Okay. When I was pull it together, Tess. Okay. When I was modeling in New York during 9/11, people were dying, but I still worked and it was fierce.
Stop.
So she said that, which I'd never heard before.
Can someone please make our artsy Rammies that quote out of like what you would see on like a Home Goods, like live, laugh, love?
Please,
like,
on guys, please send it to us. We'll post it on the main feed.
That's iconic. And it was still fierce.
It was still fierce.
Okay.
Do you remember this one? Bitch, you stole my alarm clock.
Yeah, kind of. Is that from America's Next Top Model?
It's from America's Next Top Model. I think it refers to...
Did Tyra say it or a girl said it? And
no, Tyra said it. And I think she was... I don't know. I actually don't know. You guys let us know for any of these because I didn't look up the context. I just want to see what the people were saying.
Yeah.
Do you remember this one? Mia Farrow from Rosemary's Baby.
That sounds kind of familiar.
It's when she like gave that girl a makeover with the pixie cut. And then they were critiquing the look.
Every woman there had to be one girl that had a pixie cut on the makeovers.
Oh, of course. And they were sobbing and shaking. Like, the shaking was always really hard to watch when they were getting a makeover.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh my God.
I do remember being like, well, I think I remember my mom like looking at me and be like, would you cut your hair if you were there? And I was like, absolutely.
Yep. You're like, I'll do whatever.
I'll do whatever it takes. And I still kind of feel like that. Like, honestly,
I feel like you'd look good with a pixie cut.
Okay, well, let's not go too far. But if Jay Alexander and Tyra Banks were, and maybe this isn't a good thing, if they were like, get a pixie cut, I'd be like, listen, I'm going to listen to the professionals, and I might look like a boy for a little bit.
This is just why we're on the subject of this. Kunal and I were talking about pixie cuts the other day, and I was like, who are the hottest women that have ever gotten pixie cuts? Have you ever seen Keira Knightley when she had short hair?
Maybe.
I sent this to Alice, and we both were like, I think this is like the hottest she's ever looked. I really love
Let me see.
this hairstyle that she had.
Oh, I mean, that's so of the time with the swoop.
She had like bangs, but it was like really short. And like, I just remember being like, she's so hot.
So hot. Rihanna also is so,
Rihanna,
it's hard to pull off.
Natalie Portman.
Oh.
What do you think of Emma Stone's pixie cut now?
I actually think it's working for her.
I think it's adorable.
Listen, the first time I ever see a pixie cut, I'm always going to go, and then
it really works for some girlies, doesn't it?
It really does. I remember one of the makeovers, they gave someone such a bad weave that her hair bled. Her scalp bled.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I think they like were trying to traumatize them during it.
So
Like it was
too.
part of the process to be like, who can survive this?
Yeah.
there's in all caps, you get Vaseline. Remember there was a challenge where they would give some of the girls Vaseline and some didn't get Vaseline and they had to smile for like hours.
But that was like a trick, is putting Vaseline on your teeth. They did this for cheer competitions too and dance well, there's not all
so that you wouldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
There's Thailand is my country because there's Thai in its name.
Oh my God, Tyra,
sweetie. This is one of my favorites, and this one does go out to our friend Alice. It's today you guys are gonna learn about acting.
Oh, is that when she passed out?
Yes, where she like comes into the room and she's like, "Hi guys, sorry, I'm late. I'm not feeling so hot." And everyone's like, "Tyra, what's wrong?" And then she collapses. And all of them start screaming and gather around her. And then she's like, "Today you're going to learn about acting." And then they're all like, "Ah!"
Oh my God. I love
there's Ho, but make it fashion. Iconic.
God.
And then to end, of course, it's one of our favorite quotes that we say in Ram all the time. We were rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you. God, the ferocity.
The ferocity.
I
have never yelled at a girl like this in my life.
Also, I don't know if that's true, Tyra.
Yeah, I'm like, Tyra.
Your poor assistant probably just got that.
God. Her partners, I bet.
Yeah. Who has she dated?
That's actually a great question. We're going to do some live journalism.
Yeah, and I'm like wondering if she's with anyone now.
Seems like, okay, who has Tyra dated? Oh, you know what? I think she's always with these like French like businessmen. Like she was with this guy, Louis Boulanger Martin.
She likes the French.
She likes the French. Oh, they've been together since 2018. Oh. It's a Canadian businessman.
Oh, okay. So French-Canadian.
French-Canadian.
Hot. French. Hot. Yeah, we love
hot.
that.
Okay. So we're going to... Okay, let's quickly talk about some of the most famous models to come out of America's Next Top Model. Let's go back to the beginning.
Let's go back
to the beginning. Do you remember the first winner, Claire?
Okay, so we were talking about this the other night. She ended up being on a reality show.
Yes.
I always thought the second winner was the first, but what's her name?
Adrienne Curry.
Adrienne.
So she had like a raspy voice. She was kind of a tomboy, and I think they always compared her to like a God, they said some model from like the 80s. She was kind of like a bad girl.
Yes.
Oh, they'd always make her like an Angelina Jolie type.
Yeah, definitely. Like has a cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she got like successful afterwards with Maxim and Playboy.
Okay.
So she went like that direction.
Yeah.
And she was only 20 years old at the time.
Wow.
And so when season 1 premiered and she won that season, the episode had around 6.5 million viewers. Which was like good for 2003. And then average throughout the season, 5.5 million viewers per episode, which is like, it was popular from the beginning.
And again, that's like people sitting down at the same time to watch. That's not like streaming it later.
No, God, it was so exciting.
It was so exciting. Oh, like finding out because there was a girl from Arkansas and my mom and I were rooting for her so hard and she won.
I know. So my mom and I also watched together, but then my schedule growing up was like every other week. And so I would... watch it at my dad's, but he like didn't like me watching it, and so I would have to lie about what I was watching. I was like, I'm gonna go watch. I forgot what I would say, but I would never say I was watching America's Next Top Model. I had to be like not Gossip Girl, Gilmore Girls is on.
He just did not understand fashion.
Of course, no, it was important. Mm-hmm. There was Eva Marcille from Cycle 3.
Of course, I remember the tarantula picture, and Yaya was on that season because I remember her photo so well.
Yaya and her were the two finalists, and Yaya was like they had such different looks.
Talk about a pixie cut.
They both had pixie cuts.
Oh, Yaya ended up having a pixie cut?
Yeah,
I thought she had really long hair.
Oh, did they give her extensions?
I always thought Yaya was so beautiful. I remember that tarantula shot.
Oh, wait, you're so right.
And then Eva went on to be Real Housewives of Atlanta. I thought Yaya was so unbelievably stunning, and so was Eva.
I mean, both of them are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then there was something, do you remember she had one friend who was kind of obsessed with her, and she had to be like, you're making me uncomfortable. Like, I'm here to actually work, and like, I feel like you're like kind of falling in love with me.
Yes. That? Oh my God.
If you guys remember who that girl was, like, she was like, please, like.
It's so funny now because like when you watch her on like Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then when you watch her on like Girls Trip, like she's just a stoner now and like completely different.
I know. I know, but yeah, I mean, she was also like, I think she was young.
So
she
young.
was 18 or 19.
She, like, I feel like went on to, like, really have, like, a little bit of a career now.
Yeah, she acted in a lot of shows, including Smallville, Everyone Hates Chris, and The Game.
Oh, I used to love Everyone
She
Hates
also
Chris.
was on The Young and the Restless for a year.
Okay.
So she was getting some good work. Do you remember Naima
Naima, I do.
from Cycle 4? So she was the daughter of musicians.
Jazz magician.
And then she ended up serving as a judge at the Miss Teen USA pageant in 2005. She released a book called Naima Mora's Model Behavior in 2012. She always kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
There was Danielle.
Okay, she's the one from Arkansas,
Oh,
and
she
we
was
were
from
signed
Arkansas.
to the same agency, and so we were freaking
Oh,
out.
that's exciting. She was in Cycle 6.
And they had her try, like, I don't know if they closed it in all the way, but the gap in her teeth.
The gap in her teeth they were very concerned about, which is just like, can I say?
Please.
I feel like we are like moving towards a time where everyone is trying to look exactly the same. And I hope that there is a transition out of that, because it's like what you're seeing with veneers of like, why do you want the same smile as everyone else? Why don't you want little imperfections, like quote imperfections, because it's not even like a thing. Like, don't you want to have like your own little tiny crooked tooth or whatever it is? Like, it makes you just like who you are.
Teeth add so much character, and now they would never tell her to fill in her gap tooth too. Like,
No,
that
'cause
makes
it's chic.
it's so chic. It like makes you even more of a model. But like, I love interesting teeth. Like the actress from White Lotus, I think she has the most amazing teeth. The British actress.
It's just the perfect example of like, stop trying to conform just to look like everyone else. It's so boring.
It is. And I think that I actually think that they didn't close her gap in all the way. I think that they just closed it in some, because I think
know.
she was like, she was always like, I love my gap.
I think they made it just like a little bit less aggressive.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like you look back on that and you're just like, they wouldn't do that today, which then kind of makes you think like, what other things in 20 years are we going to be like, why were we doing that to our physical appearance?
Like, bodies are not fashion trends.
Bodies are not fashion trends.
100%.
So just like do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And don't do the things that you don't want to do to alter your appearance.
I
like
agree.
just be yourself.
Even though I'm like, yeah, I still would get a pixie cut if Tyra told me to. Just kidding.
I mean, but you would look good with pixie cut.
No.
And that's for the business. That's for the art,
Yeah.
you know? Okay, so then there's Whitney Thompson for Cycle 10, who was the first plus size winner.
Again, we're saying in quotes.
Plus size winner. I think she was a size 8, a 6 or an 8.
It's crazy.
You have to laugh. It's so absurd.
You have to laugh.
It's so absurd, you guys. And you know what? She was like, I didn't like what they did to her hair, I remember.
Horrible extensions.
They gave her really bad extensions and a really bad blonde.
Yes.
Like, she was pretty, but they did not do a good makeover for her.
Yeah. I feel like they were like, okay, we need to have like a plus size girl win this season. And so, which is like a problem all in itself.
I completely agree. They were Janice was so mean to her. And I will never forget how terrible the things that how she would treat the other women. And then Whitney would walk up and she'd be like, disgusting, look at your gut.
Well,
and it was off. Janice was so terrifying.
Janice had said so many disgusting things about bodies. And clearly, like, she was struggling herself and projecting. Yeah. It was really tough to see.
I feel like they all, like, were just, like, almost resisted it, but they knew that they probably, I feel like it's Cycle 10 now. There was probably some dialogue around body image that maybe producers were even like, we should have her win. Yeah. And they like resented it.
Yeah. Well, and also I think that like Janice and all of them would be like, this is what modeling is. If you don't have that, you don't get to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we trying to change the industry? And it's like, no, it doesn't actually have to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all just very upsetting. Mm-hmm. After she won, she modeled for CoverGirl, Forever 21, Saks Fifth Ave. And then in 2009, she founded her own jewelry and candle collection called Supermodel.
Oh.
Very.
I think we could workshop the name a little bit.
We could maybe try something else.
But even then, like, that's all like commercial brands. Mm-hmm. But actually, you guys, commercial brands are where the money is.
That's where the money is. Like, who cares about a runway show?
No,
if you can get like
runway models don't make shit.
No, like nothing.
No.
So I'm like, yeah, get those commercials. Get those commercials.
Yeah, commercial brands are like the ones that you see that are like very approachable and not like high-end fashion.
Yes.
And again, that is where the money is.
Exactly. Go there. Go there. So let's talk about some of the most controversial things that happened.
Let's go.
Some of these are like a little bit more funny, and some of them are tough. So, and they're in no particular order.
So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. Do you remember Carrie D? She won, I think, cycle 8 or 9.
I don't know.
She ended up like acting on One Tree Hill, and she was in like a lot of other CW stuff. She was cute.
Oh,
she was blonde.
Also, another actress like Annabelle or something, or
Anna Lee Tipton.
That's in Crazy Stupid Love.
She's in like a bunch of stuff.
She was America's Next Top Model, wasn't she?
She was.
There's also a Southern Charm member on the show right now that was an America's Next Top Model
really?
that made it to the top 2. They made her cut her hair and then they sent her home.
I think Anna Lee made it to the top 2. I don't
think so
she
too.
won.
Yeah,
I forget
same.
what season she was on.
She did one. Yeah. Anyway.
But Carrie D, who was a contestant who ended up being the winner, got hypothermia during. Remember when they did that underwater shoot?
Yes, I do.
So remember that they were like, "Oh my God, look at Carrie D's lips," and they were like literally like blue, and she like looked like she had lost all color in her face and was like slowly like dying. And the judges all found a way to blame her of how bad she looked underwater.
And she's like, I literally have hypothermia.
Like she was in the hospital, and they were like disgusting.
They all were like, you will be in elements that will be challenging.
Yeah, they're like, so can you not handle it?
You're like, well, my body physically can't, so.
You will be in elements. It's so crazy. In cycle 6, the girls were tasked with walking in dangerously high heels. Do you remember that episode where they
everyone's falling?
They were like 12-inch heels, like completely unrealistic. They were like circus heels.
They still do that, though.
Oh my God.
They still do that on the runway.
Yeah, so the models fell, and all the judges just like sat there just wincing at their pain. And then Danielle Evans sprained her ankle.
Oh, that's right.
And had to be also sent to the hospital.
It's crazy. I'm also like, question, Tyra, have you ever done any of these things actually? You know
of course not. I think she just wanted to watch them suffer.
Same, me too.
Sometimes it's like, who can blame her?
Yeah.
You know? This one is upsetting. In cycle 1, the girls had to participate in a weigh-in, and they stepped on a scale, and then their trainer told their weights to the viewers at home. I remember, this is actually like, once I read that, I was like, oh my God, that just brought back something.
Oh, yeah.
As like 12 of being like, why are they saying that that's a bad number? Of like starting to realize like the number that wasn't okay at this time and like all of that, which stays with you for quite some time.
It stays with you for the rest of your life. Like
I
think that every woman, whether you go down a path of like, I don't know, I think every woman struggles daily with a voice inside their head saying that they are not enough or they're too much of something.
100%.
With their looks.
100%. It's so rare to ever like... It's rare to really ever just be like, I 100% am comfortable with this, this, and this. Like there's always, and I did see a TikTok that's like, imagine the shit we could get done if we like let go of that voice being like, lose this amount of weight.
Imagine.
Or, like imagine the space that it would create in your mind to think about other things.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a constant struggle, but...
And it was perpetuated by things like this.
Of course, because, like, you're so impressionable, and then you're seeing them shit on someone being X amount, and you're just like, whoa.
Yep.
Highly encourage everyone to get rid of their scale.
I haven't owned a scale. I don't even know how long.
It's just so unnecessary.
And when I go to the doctor, I turn around and I say, I actually would like to not know the number. And then they say, okay, no problem.
They've now, like, I feel like I'm glad that that's, like, become a more common practice of not being, you know, or you can actually say that you don't want to get weighed.
Yeah.
Because, like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Do what you need to do to protect your peace.
No, it's like every time I go to the doctor and then I do look, I get weird about it.
And
then it's like, what's the point of that? How does that change your life at all?
Exactly. We don't play there anymore.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So that was a really tough moment that has stayed with me. Oh God. Okay. Oh God. Okay. This is also not good.
Okay.
In cycle 3, the girls were instructed to style a look based on various hats. Contestant Yaya DaCosta chose the cowboy hat and added details that referenced her African roots. At panel, the guest judge, who I'm not sure who it was, criticized Yaya for her intensity to prove her Africanness, calling it overbearing. Yaya took offense to the remark because, yeah, the comment was very offensive. When she stepped in to defend herself, Tyra jumped in and said, "You're being very defensive and it's not attractive."
Oh, that sounds so classic, like Tyra on this.
With like a fellow black woman to then not have her side? To not have her, like...
P.S. That hat would crush now.
Oh, my
God. And she immediately would be like, as it always should. It's so innovative. It's so creative. It is, like, art.
She definitely never wanted the girls to feel like they were like connecting to their individuality or to their blackness.
Yes.
Like she really pushed that away. And I'm sure that is projection of what the industry has told her. So in a way, she's like, let me try to protect these girls. I didn't get the ability to do that, so they shouldn't.
I remember this actually. Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is funny. In cycle 10, they go abroad and there's a private jet waiting for all of them, and they make it seem like the girls get to fly private, and then they laugh and say, this is just for the judges. That's your plane over there. And then they had to fly commercial.
Oh my God. The producers were truly like, how can we torture these girls today?
Torture them.
And didn't they make them stay up late? I think I heard that they would like make them stay up really late.
They did not sleep at all. And then they had to wake up every day at they all woke up early to work out.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to be at like most of the things by 7. So I think they were sleeping like 4 hours a night.
Yeah. And they like wanted that so that the drama would be like heightened.
So that they all like felt crazy. I mean, that's what they do on The Bachelor. They like don't really sleep and then they just pump them with alcohol. It couldn't be me. I'd have a mental B.
Mental B, honey.
Mental B. Okay. And then one of the most controversial things that America's Next Top Model really ever did was oh my God, both cycle 4 and cycle 13 featured photo shoots in which the models represented different races.
Wasn't it like for Got Milk or something?
It was for Got Milk.
Like what?
Yes, it was for Got Milk.
And then there was like a baby.
Yes, there was
their child. It's so weird.
There was oh my God, I think it was who was it? Who was the contestant that had the elephant photo shoot and they were like, your stomach's sticking out?
No, that's Danielle, I think.
No, it wasn't Danielle. She was short.
Oh.
Oh my God, who was
Yeah,
this?
because they had to be different animals.
Elephant photo shoot. It was Kenya.
Oh, Kenya.
Do you remember Kenya?
Kenya, yes, of course.
So this photo, they said that she wasn't sticking her stomach, that she was sticking her stomach out.
Jail.
You guys,
jail
she's
forever.
A tiny, tiny woman. So I remember she had to be an Indian woman with like a bindi and a child. But they put white women in blackface.
Yeah. Every single thing. And then again, like throwing a baby, and they would be like, if the baby was crying, they'd be like, you didn't handle that right. And like, you have to hold the baby while still looking fierce.
Guys, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
They made everyone a different race and they would do crazy things with their makeup and their hair. It wasn't okay.
No.
And I remember just judging, being like, and Tyra being like, you didn't really embody an Asian woman. And they were like, I'm sorry, I didn't really know how to. Like, I'm not an Asian woman.
Funny you didn't. Like, it's crazy. You know what photo shoot that stood out to me that I actually loved? They did like the 7 deadly sins or whatever. One girl was like in a grave or something like that.
So, do you remember the girl that was in the grave?
Yes.
Had just lost her best friend, and they decided to have her portray wrath in a grave. And then she was crying during it, and they were like, you didn't do a good job because you were very like out of it. And she was like, I was thinking about my friend. And they're like, there's no time to think about your dead friend.
There's no time for that. You have to be fucking professional.
But that was such a good photo shoot.
It was such a good photo shoot.
There was a few that I was like, ooh, these are cool. I liked when they went all bare, like no makeup. I remember like those ones were always like, and how they then would do the shoot with Tyra at the end.
Oh my God, how fun would that be? Like that would be amazing.
I mean, because she is like, she knows.
She's an icon.
She's an icon, and she's professional.
And she invented smizing. Like we have to have like a whole 10 minutes to talk about smizing.
Well, Claire.
Well, okay, just real quick before we move on, because then towards the end, they would have to do, the last 3 would have to do a CoverGirl commercial. Do you remember that one where they were like walking through a party and one girl was like, yeah.
Oh, yes, it was Yaya. And they were like, Yaya, you're laughing like not naturally.
It wasn't Yaya that I'm thinking. I think we think Yaya was like on every single season. It was someone with a pixie cut.
Oh, was it
and she was being
Johanna?
Like no. And she was being like so like fluffy. She didn't end up winning. But anyways, I remember that. Tess also.
Oh my God, yeah. They would do like the CoverGirl commercial. These were the top 3. Amanda, the blind one, was top 3.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, Eva's is the best out of that.
Eva
picture.
is a star.
She really is. But also, it all goes back to Bravo. Tess, I'm almost positive at one point they did Marie Claire or something like that. The photographer was none other than Joe Ben Simone. ex-husband of Kelly Bensimon, and he was always a photographer for the the magazine. He did the shoot.
That man did not seem safe.
No,
I mean, it seems like there's some darkness there.
It was scary. But Joe Bensimon.
I mean, what a chic name. Though.
Yeah.
Wow.
It all
the
goes back to
commercial.
Bravo.
So they would have to act a little bit at the end, which they always struggled with.
They always struggled with.
Painful to watch.
Yeah.
And then they did their final runway show.
Yes.
And then they all did the CoverGirl shoot. And then it was decided. Oh my God. Okay. I need to log onto your Hulu and like watch all of this tonight.
Of course.
I actually ended up not really, I did TikTok clips, but like I didn't watch any of the full episodes.
I need to go back and watch these
and I'm
now
now
too.
like, I want to start from the beginning.
I know. Same.
And like hopefully with time, you can laugh at
With
some
time.
of, with time. You can laugh at some of the absurdity.
You have to laugh because otherwise you'll cry.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just too triggering.
Yeah.
But you have to try to have like some space from it because it's just all crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, one shoot they did of like different careers that they wanted as a kid.
Yes.
And one was like I think that was Danielle's season. One was like a singer, a teacher,
oh my God, that's
and like
right.
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to watch.
I know. The
Guys,
photo shoots sometimes were so fun.
the photo shoots were always the best part.
Yeah,
like I didn't
definitely.
even really care about like the drama and stuff. Like I just wanted to see them.
And that's why I'm like, you do have Jay Alexander like giving you notes. Sometimes the girls, I'm like, freaking take them.
Sometimes they were too defensive. I mean, they hated when anyone got defensive up there.
Yeah.
Like you kind of just had to be like, okay.
But it is like you guys are young models. You do have like bring your own freshness, obviously. But like, if you have these people here to mold,
it's so true.
You know,
it's so true.
Am I toxic?
Yeah, we're just like, you know what? We actually agree with what Janice Dickinson said about all of them. Okay, Claire, we're going to play a little fun game to end the episode.
Okay.
It's going to be, would our past subject have a good smize? Or would they not be able to smize?
That's such a good... Do you want to tell the people... I'm sure everyone knows what smizing is.
Okay, so smizing is not really smiling, but it's smiling within the eyes.
Smiling with your eyes.
So it's really... like what camera do we look at for?
Those side ones. Mm-hmm.
Those side
no, you
ones?
look there.
Oh, okay. So it's like...
Exactly.
Okay, let
Tyra,
Claire do it because she's the
no,
model.
I would no, I would not. But Tyra would always.
I'm gonna get footage of this. Okay, wait.
Tyra would always be like,
Smize.
"This is me. This is me, just normal, and this is me smizing."
Yes, it always was that.
Yeah, I was like, she would always, and it would look really scary because she was out like, and you're just like.
Also, what Alice and I always used to say in high school together is we'd do the ugly, make it pretty.
Yes! Oh my God, she would always do that. Oh my God, I miss it.
I'm just like, ugly, make it pretty.
Make it pretty.
Oh
Ugly,
my God.
make it pretty.
Yeah, truly. And just always like, she'd be like, smack her stomach in her butt and be like, suck in. And I just be like watching on my couch, just like trying to like,
just like standing up and like trying to embody that as like a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, just like looking in the mirror. Like, how do they do that? God, it makes me sad, actually.
But a smize, honestly, that's iconic, and that is good advice. You should be smiling with your eyes.
You should be. So everyone, do a little smize right now if you're listening. Just do it.
Everyone's driving, walking. You know, the world right now is smizing.
Smizing. It's like if you hear smize, you have to do it. Much like, you know.
If you hear Kegel exercise.
Like a Kegel exercise.
Honestly, smizing for your vagina.
You have to do it right now?
If you will.
Oh, man, our poor editors have to do social clips for us. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
Bless your strength. Okay, so would our past subject have a good smize or no?
Okay.
Starting off number one, Ross Albright from Silk Road. Do you think he'd be able to smize?
No, I feel like he'd be like so like
soulless.
Yeah. And then be like, this is like the establishment man.
Exactly.
You know?
Kris Jenner.
Yeah, Kris could smize.
She knows how.
She knows how to work it.
Of course she does.
Yeah.
Lisa Frank.
I think that her face is so, and her being is so scary anyways, that it's like she has like kind of a natural smize.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that, but yeah. Yeah, I think actually Lisa Frank could smize.
Okay.
She could be fierce.
Okay. We'd love to hear it. Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, girl. She can smize. Have you seen that Reformation campaign?
Oh, what a gorgeous angel.
Yeah.
Amelia Earhart.
Could Amelia smize?
She kind of does have a smize in a lot of her photos.
Yeah, I think she would get it. I think she's fierce.
Yeah, she's like a woman of the earth.
I'm going to start saying fierce like so much now because Tyra always did.
We haven't even talked about fierce. Clara Bow.
Yeah, 100%. She could work it. And cry. She could be smizing and crying at the same time.
Well, because Is it Margot Robbie's character?
Yeah, that's it. Claire Bow could always cry.
Oh my God. The Menendez brothers.
Yeah, they're hot. You know? What else can I say about that?
Yeah. And I forgot to continue this list. I was going to do like 5 more. And I stopped it at that.
Andre Leon Talley could smize. I mean, he was such a good judge and like such a good freshness.
Yes.
Honestly, one of my favorite Ram subjects we've ever done.
Oh my God, it was such a good episode. I'm like looking through our episodes now because I forgot.
Frida Kahlo can smize. What?
No, that's too fucked up.
Okay. Oh my God. Just imagine what episode she might have been talking about. Just imagine
Yes, just imagine John Wilkes Booth. No.
He would try.
He'd try because he was an actor.
No, 100% he would try, but like would it land? No. And then he would get so mad.
It's so true. Martha Stewart, of course.
Yes.
Lizzie Borden.
No, honestly, I'm sorry, Lizzie. I don't think you have the razz enough to smize, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sorry.
All of the American Girl dolls definitely are. They're already smizing in their natural form.
They're stuck in a smize, actually.
Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, Marie could smize with the best of them, for sure. Queen Victoria could not smize.
No, she didn't. No, she's too
sad.
She had too much going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fun little game. And then I did ask you guys today, last minute, just what your own experiences with America's Next Top Model was.
Share.
And I'd like to share some of the responses. Okay, so we have, I'll keep all anonymous, of course. We have someone saying, seeing what they considered plus size will always stick with me. Thank you, CW.
It was on CW, that's right.
Someone said it made me feel fat, especially in my face.
Oh. I mean, there are so many things that Tess and I were talking about earlier of like comments they would make about individual body things. And I told Tess this. There was a challenge where someone was looking back over their shoulder and you have wrinkles on your neck when you do that.
You're moving.
Because that's anatomy.
We have skin.
Yeah. And then they were like, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have wrinkles.
Oh my God. The thing that also always stays with me is like how to pose your arm to make your arm look skinny and then being like, no, you need to either like all of like those little
things. Stuck with me too.
Oh my God, made me want to be a little boss bitch and model in front of my mirror. Yes,
that
honey.
It also did. Again, I was like, I want to model.
Of course.
Fierce.
I truly thought I was going to be an America's Next Top Model at 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. We all did.
The Trading Races photo shoot did a number on me. Also the one with diseases and disorders. Oh my God, thank you for bringing it here.
About that.
Wasn't it like, you're bipolar and you're depressed. Go.
I'd be like, what's new?
I'm like, is this
no acting necessary?
Is this a challenge?
Depression? Just start shooting. I'll give you what I got, you know?
Oh God, some of these are so sad. Made me think I needed to lose weight at age 13 to 15. Made me think curves were bad. Did it not fuck all of us up? Honestly, nothing. It was so far from me that it was like seeing Animal Planet as a human. You know who said that? Iconic.
Oh my God.
We need to know who this person is.
Can we just talk about that for a second? Kris Jenner's secret. I actually hope that you listen to our podcast now. Follow them on TikTok and Instagram because their content is so funny. We have no idea who this person is.
It's called Kris Jenner's Secrets.
And their content is just so iconic.
It's so funny.
It hits every time. We have no idea who they are.
Obsessed.
Yeah, obsessed.
So those are some guys, thank you for sharing. I think just to show that it like really was a universal experience of like, yeah, it kind of did make us want to get in the mirror and put on makeup and model. And then also really hurt our body dysmorphia eternally. So, eternally.
Yeah.
And then also at the time, America's Next Top Model, you know, you can't forget that was like the height of heroin chic. And then also other shows on the CW. Did you watch like the remake of 90210?
I never did.
That was a very troubling show. Yeah. And I remember like seeing them like on the cover of magazines being like, what is wrong with this cast? Yeah. Like, is everyone okay? So just the culmination of all of that was troubling. But we are here to, you know, try to make women that are in our community feel safer and know that all this stuff doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Tess, because like I know for me personally, this show affected me in really positive ways and extremely negative ways. I've been someone that has struggled with food and body, like starting from my teens, and then again, that like never really leaves you. And I honestly, the sad part is that that's not a unique experience, and shows like this perpetuated that and made it worse. So like, if you are listening to this, still struggling with that, maybe relating to that at all, like we do want this to be such a safe place for you, to remind you that like, fuck all that noise. You don't need to listen to that. That's a lie. And like, you are fierce the way that you are.
And it's so much more interesting to, one, just be yourself and not conform to any body face standards. And it's also like Claire always says, and she always tells me, it's the least interesting thing about a person is your body.
It is. It's the least interesting thing about you.
And no one is thinking about it except for us because of our own, you know, of what this world has done to us. But it's so not fun. It's so boring.
It's so boring. I just think also with this kind of thing, it's like, all right, that was horrible that we had to experience that as a young girl. But now let's be the women that we needed as young girls, you know? Like, when I get in my head about stuff like that, I'm like, no, what did I need to see in the media, in my personal life? What did I need to see as a young girl? And like, let's go out and be them.
It's so true. I think like doing like thought work of like inner child stuff with this is always very effective. Of like, even if you're kind of like stuck in something of like looking at a picture of yourself as a 6-year-old and being like, well, what would I want to tell that girl?
Yes.
And like, would I want to put that girl through distress or, you know, depriving yourself of something or consuming yourself with something when you're so much more interesting and you have so many other things going for you? It's just like, you know, you really have to just think about like that sometimes.
Yes, I agree. And also like, I would love for all of us to live in that comment of her being like, I thought I was like the hottest, fiercest thing at 6 years old. Like, yeah, let's live in that energy.
It is like, and it is a mental thing that you have to actively tell yourself these things because it's so easy with what we see and hear and trauma and childhood and all of that to live in a different space. It has to be like an active.
It does.
Which can be exhausting.
It does.
Like, but it's just so important. Like, make a choice, you know, just to like try to like love yourself as much as possible. Like, no one looks like me. That's awesome.
Exactly. And like, we are here to remind you of that as well.
Always.
And like, if any brands want us to model for them, we're prepped.
Yeah, we're ready. Just give me a spray tan and I'll feel more confident.
100%. We will require spray tans, but besides that, like, call us. We would love to model for your brand.
You know what would be fun? And this is maybe a vulnerable thing to ask people. If you want to send us a picture of you smizing or post a picture of you smizing with this episode, we'll repost it.
God.
And we want to see all of our rammies looking gorgeous.
Obsessed with that idea.
Yeah, just like post a picture of you smizing.
Oh my God, you guys are going to die when you see the old pictures too.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be a fun week on social media. Follow us at Right Answers Mostly.
Yes, please do.
On Instagram and TikTok. Tess, well done.
Thank you so much. We need to just have like fun.
Levite.
Levite. If you want more Levite, and we record all the time for premium for 3 bonus episodes a month for $7.99. Talk about personal lives, dating stories, wedding updates, past trauma.
Whatever you want, we provide it.
Literally, we're answering fan questions this week. You guys wrote in, and so we're giving like a little advice episode. So sign up for premium in the show notes.
We love you guys so much.
We love you guys, and stay fierce.
Stay fierce, honey. You want to be on top.
Dun, 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 dun,
You want to be on top.